Welcome to Green Talk by Green Care Solutions on KCAA NBC Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and YouTube. Today we have Jeff and Lauren from the Tiger King. I'm your host, Be Real. We're practicing social distancing since we're still in quarantine in California. I'm here with my co-hosts.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Angela Mazzanti here.
Hey, everyone. It's Yunitza Munoz.
Now, Green Talk is an educational and cannabis and pop culture program. You must be 21 years of age to listen or watch, and NBC has deemed our business essential since it is educational. Now, we're not doctors, but Green Care Solutions has doctors for you, and you can give us a call for any of your Green Care Solutions needs at 951-609-4071.
Yes, and also this show is brought to you by MJ.com. MJ.com is an online destination platform for all cannabis professionals. Also, check out Jonathan from JonathanSellsBeachHomes.com. I have his info right here at the bottom of the screen. Give him a call at 310-938-1504. His social media is also listed here below. And also, Be Real and Jeff, I also want to let you know that Exotic Car Wraps, I want to hook you guys up. They have some really cool wraps they put on all luxury cars. They put them on Lamborghinis, Bentleys, BMWs, and so much more. And I have their information right here at the bottom of the screen.
Well, let's start the show. Jeff and Lauren, welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
How you doing?
So, I know when you put out something like the Tiger King on a platform like Netflix and it catches fire, it's a life-changing thing, I would imagine. How has life been since the release of Tiger King?
Well, we went from total obscurity to people lining up in grocery stores, wanting their pictures taken. It's kind of weird.
Your show definitely became the phenomenon of Netflix this year of 2020 and for the quarantine as well. I binge watched it. So did Angela here, and B has as well. When it was being filmed, did you ever expect it to be as big as it has now become?
No, because, we didn't know where this would end up. It could have been without the coronavirus, it could have been on straight to DVD in the Dollar General stores. So we had no clue.
Especially with Joe Exotic's kind of portrayal of stuff.
Just everybody's character in the show, I feel like just made it so amazing, because it's everyone had such a different personality and a story behind them that it's you almost wanted to know everybody's backstory.
Mm-hmm, most definitely.
Well, you know what? You guys see it that way, but for us, it was every day. It was just get up at 8 in the morning and go out, and here's Joe, and here's Eric, and here's Alan the Hitman trimming trees. So we all just thought of each other as maybe odd, but never interesting, because we just lived it every day. But apparently we were more interesting than we knew.
Well, I think you guys are very interesting. And also, what was it like working with Joe Exotic?
He was a pain. He was difficult. You just basically let it go in one ear and out the other, because you were never going to change his mind about anything. You were never going to talk any sense into him. And he was just kind of tunnel vision. Joe didn't have any periphery vision for anything other than him and what can I put my picture on today, and how can I get my face on a magazine. Mm-hmm. So it's really ironic now that he's achieved the level of success that he always kind of envisioned he already had, but now he can't even enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
When you gain newfound light, newfound success because of obviously the documentary, there's positives and negatives, obviously. And some of the positives we know, exposure to the brand and, more opportunities to push that brand and whatever platform you decide to go in. That's definitely the upside. What are some of have some of the downsides been for you?
What we feel, and I'll leave that up to the viewers or people that know us. We feel that we were kind of portrayed as completely villainous people, and what we actually did is we saved this park from going to Carol Baskin, and she would have euthanized these tigers because she doesn't have the ability. Her place, Big Cat Rescue, has got about 40 cats. We have 200 tigers here, and she didn't. She
would have made it into like a donation kind of thing.
Yeah, she would have just using it. She would have used the animals to solicit $10 million worth of cry on my shoulder money, and then she would have had them put down.
Now, I know this is pretty common with like reality shows, but was there a lot of like scenes that were cut out from the documentary, like as they were filming, that were taken out to kind of portray you guys a certain way?
Absolutely.
Yes.
You have no clue. Just like the whole, every woman out there thinks I'm a womanizer because I told Lauren go back to the gym. That was her saying she needed to go back to the gym. So when they cut out everything around it, it was definitely manipulated. I mean, they manipulated a lot of the scenes, and they would tell me what to say.
They would even say, repeat it. Say it this way, though.
The scene about a little, get you a lot. They put the words in my mouth, So, but again, had I known it was going to Netflix, I probably would have been more careful. But I thought this would go either in their garage and never be sold anywhere, or it would have gone to some obscure, internet avenue on YouTube or something. So we were kind of surprised when it was when they sold it to Netflix, because we just didn't think we were that interesting. And
it was like hitting the lottery, yeah.
Yeah, well, the coronavirus thing didn't hurt the producers, and everybody trapped inside their house for months.
We were actually promised a lot by the producer, and he lied to us. You say hit the lottery. He did promise us a lot, and then he bailed out on us at the end.
Yeah, he when he came in here, he says, "Look," he says, you got 160 of Joe's cats that he abandoned, which was the truth, and we have to care for them for the rest of their lives."
Yeah.
And his big pitch to us was, help me with this, and you'll see significant income. And I said, you'll see significant profits from this. And I said, what are you talking about? And he says, well, as soon as I sell this to Netflix, I'm giving you guys a bunch.
Yeah.
And, once he sold it to Netflix,
he didn't give us anything.
He was gone, barely answered a text.
Yeah.
Wow.
So in turn, you didn't gain the benefits that they had promised.
No, we didn't. All we got was the money. Here's what he did. We sold him footage, $12,000 worth of footage, and then a $2,000 location filming fee. And then when they sent me the 1099, they sent it for $33,000.
Yeah, we never got that.
I didn't get $33,000. I got $14,000. So what he did was he added all of the other park employees that he interviewed that he should have never paid for interviews, because it's not journalistically correct to pay these guys for interviews. He put all of the money that he gave them on my 1099. So that's just, there's a big article out about him and how he's probably worth $100 million. And he just all of his employees now at all of his restaurants and bars are raising a protest against him because he's left them high and dry during this coronavirus thing. But it's neither here nor there. He burned his bridge because I don't think he ever expected it to be this big either. So as soon as it was, he started sending me text messages that we need to talk, because I'm sure they want a season 2. And I just blocked him. I blocked him.
The silver lining behind this is that you could probably hire another producer, or hire someone that you feel more comfortable with. And that's horrible that he, took advantage of you.
A benefit, because all the money that the Tiger King merchandise brings in will go for carrying all of these animals that he left behind.
How many cats do you have now?
I think we're a little over 200 right now.
And how much does it cost to maintain each cat? Like
I've seen estimates that it's about $10,000 per cat per year, and that would be conservative if you add in the veterinary care, because when we just have wellness checks for the cats, it's $1,000 per cat, because they got to put them down and they have to do all the blood work in the labs, and so I bet you we spend about probably almost $2 million a year here to care for the cats and to pay the employees and the contractors and the veterinary staff and then the food. And, like, even right now, all these meat factories are closing down because of the COVID thing. So the price of meat has gone through the roof. Joe had a Walmart donation program set up on the park, and he got caught. He got caught picking through the donated Walmart meat and taking it down the street to his restaurant that we had nothing to do with. And he was cooking that meat and serving it to people. And nobody could figure out how Joe could sell a 5-pound hamburger for $7. And it's because he didn't pay for the food. He didn't pay for the meat.
Wow. Well, yeah, I did see that in the documentary. Someone was mentioning that he used the Walmart meat for the pizzas that he would make. Now, we have a very important question. Do you think that Carol Baskin really killed her husband?
Yes.
Absolutely.
1,000%.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is a very, yeah, just like the TikTok videos. Yeah, they're opening the cold case apparently to see why he went missing, to open up evidence again. And I saw you on an interview on E! Entertainment talking about it as well, how they never really looked into the case. Like, there was a different meat grinder that she had in the 90s. Yeah. There was so many different things that she never ever brought up, and things just never added up as well.
Well, what she didn't mention is that Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department has a piece of paper where she had submitted a commercial meat grinder into their equipment auction right after Don's his disappearance. So when she says, when she's during the documentary, she's pretending like all she had was these little meat grinders.
I couldn't cut him up in that.
It was a big commercial.
She had big commercial meat grinders, and they had the actual the document where she had submitted it for auction. So they've got so much stuff. And Mario, the Scarface guy from the documentary, Mario and his father were charged with the murder of a confidential informant, and they never found the body.
There's never a body. Yeah.
So it's possible, And it just takes. And Mario's a friend of ours. Believe it or not, he's one of the more normal guys in the business. But there's a lot more that was not disclosed, and I don't know why. I only watched it once, so I don't remember seeing some of the things that I know. Maybe they were on there, but the handwriting analysis of all of her forged documents. She had too many shady moves not to have been involved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you also mentioned. So sorry. Go ahead, B.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean that's one of the cons for her in terms of the success of Tiger King, because it sort of opened her up to people asking questions, and maybe it's sort of the similar thing that happened with R. Kelly when the people came with that series on him, and it opened up other cases, on him. It made them investigate him more. So I think this is what's happening with Carol Baskins right now, is that, there's questions to be answered. And,
she intimidated so many people in her life with her wealth. And people who used to work for her were scared to death of her to ever say anything, and they signed non-disclosure agreements. So they were afraid that Carol would take their homes, or worse, they could end up missing like Don. So they were always afraid to ever say anything until she's kind of exposed on Netflix in front of 40 million people. And now I think they use that as that's the buffer now between their fear of Carol and the truth. So a lot of these people have started talking. Mm-hmm. I think it's just a matter of time. They're going to get her.
I know she's been avoiding a lot of interviews, and these YouTubers from the United Kingdom actually pranked her. E! Entertainment just released the footage the other day. These guys from the UK pranked her into thinking she was going to be on Jimmy Kimmel, and the agreement was they were not going to talk about Tiger King and only about a big cat rescue, and she fell for it. It was a pretty interesting interview. I saw it on YouTube yesterday. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
We're going to watch it after we get off here with you.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Well, it's funny because of how much during, I guess, the docuseries was how much she prided herself in being like big on YouTube and being big on social media. And now it's like you go to any of her social media accounts. Like I checked her TikTok recently, and every comment is just like, you killed your husband, you killed your husband. Like people making like jokes about it and everything, and just putting it all out there for everybody.
Well, I think ultimately, I think Joe beat her. And, he's in prison for the rest of his life. But he almost did worse to her, because she was she's such a holier than thou kind of person. And she was doing exactly what we are doing, putting big cats in cages, and people are paying to see them. So for her to justify her existence somehow when ours is wrong or bad, I think now her holier than thou attitude is gone. I think her donors will start bailing left and right. If you donated $1,000 to Big Cat Rescue, that was, for most of us to donate $1,000 is significant. And if you found out that Carol Baskin had spent $2.5 million trying to shut down Joe because he owed her $1 million, then I think that would tend to make you not want to donate any more money to Carol Baskin. So, her pocketbook is probably going to feel the pinch. And I know everybody who walks through her gate is probably screaming something, sarcastic at her if they see her. And, I can walk around this park every day, and I got 300 or 400 people wanting to take my picture, and nobody has said anything negative to my face anyway. So I don't think Carol's going to be that lucky.
Very well said. So basically, you are opening the new zoo. What is the name of the new zoo that you've taken over from Joe Exotic?
Well, being the opportunists that we are, we've rebranded it Tiger King Park. That's kind of the suggestion of the publicist and all the agents who just said, you can't throw this opportunity out the window. You're a known commodity now worldwide, and you'd be stupid not to capitalize on it. And it's not for us, it's for the animals. So the new one will be called Tiger King Park, and we own all the trademarks, so why not use them? And this zoo will remain open until that one opens. We might have a few days we have to shut down so we can actually get 200 lions and tigers, loaded up into trucks and moved.
It's going to be a lot of work.
But it'll be pretty seamless from closing this one and opening that one.
We will be filming the whole transition, though. We'll be showing all these animals that Joe built these small enclosures for, and showing them go into these really big, nice enclosures, more of a natural habitat for them. So we're really excited.
And that's really cool you're doing that, because I thought it was so interesting in the Tiger King documentary when Carol was saying that everyone is bad and she's number one, and they would show her zoo, and it was the same. I was like, you have smaller cages than Joe Exotic.
You've got little cages.
And she had one.
What she did was she took old corn cribs that were used on farms to hold ears of corn, and she's turned them, and they're only like 20 foot in diameter, and that's what she uses as her cages down there. And for one thing, in Florida, where you have hurricane weather go through every year, I can't believe that the neighbors are even safe. Those are not very secure cages. But that's what pissed Joe off so bad is that she would criticize the cages here, which the enclosures here are much better than hers, but she thought if she said it online that it was the gospel and that all of her minions would believe it, and it worked for a while. And
you were her competition too, so you were taking her glory, I suppose.
Right. Well, I think now. I think the playing field has been leveled.
It's not a competition. It was more of like, don't be a hypocrite. And she is the biggest hypocrite of them all. And she wants to go protest this Big Cat Safety Act, but yet she's the worst one out of the bunch. So
crazy.
Now, speaking of like caring for cats or like the tigers and everything, have you ever tried like using CBD for any like ailments that they might be like facing?
We have. We actually use CBD a lot of times in an end-of-life situation where we know the cat is probably not going to recover, because you have to imagine that the dosage requirements for a 600 or 800-pound tiger would be significant. And at the end of a cat's life, when renal failure, for example, kidney failure, it's more of a comfort medicine for them at that point, because there's no matter how good a drug is, CBD oil is great, but you're not gonna reverse 20 years of kidney damage. So we do use it. We actually use it on the younger animals who are having mobility issues, and it can be difficult, imagine a tiger's fur and how much you actually have to use to get it topically. And then we'll supplement their diets sometimes with it. But we had to be careful because we went and we made a great big video, and we had a cat dying of renal failure, and I just couldn't give her up. I mean, I couldn't give him up without trying. And I was criticized because I was using massive amounts of CBD, but it was making him more comfortable, and he was actually moving and getting up. And I got criticized and then questioned by the USDA because my vet, until recently, vets could not recommend you use CBD as a treatment for an animal. But now the American Veterinary Association has changed their tune on that, and they're allowing a lot of the experimenting with the CBD. And you know what? This is probably one of the best places in the world to try it on big cats, because we have such a eclectic mix of lions and tigers and jaguars, and these cats that it's a perfect testing facility here for almost any medicine, particularly CBD.
We're going to be shipping you guys some of the GCS CBD, and let us know what you think. Also for humans and pets, we have some hemp and CBD. Also, if for any of the listeners and people who are watching, check out mj.com. It's also very educational, and they go through different cannabis products. But we'll be shipping some of these to you, and let us know if you like any of them. Our chewables and our gummies for humans are vegan, so no gelatin.
Okay.
Oh, great. Okay. Thank you.
Let me ask you this before we go. Word is they signed Nicolas Cage to play Joe. Who do you want to play you?
Well, you know what? Now David Spade's available, right? Because he should have been Joe. I don't care. Nick Cage is a great actor, but Joe Dirt is Joe Exotic.
Yeah, David Spade is like perfect for that role.
I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah. You know who I have always respected as an actor? He's a little bit older than I am, but do you know who Ed Harris is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ed Harris, I'm not a big guy, and I'm not a big personality like Joe was. So I think somebody lower key.
Yeah.
Nick Cage has got that manic, that ability to be so manic and physical with his, with his everything. I can see him pulling off Joe.
David Spade would have been a good Joe.
He would have been.
He really would have been, yeah.
They probably wanted it to be a little bit more serious, because I think if you put David in the mix, then it becomes Joe Dirt Part 2.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
Dirt King.
Yeah.
Becomes Dirt King.
Have you?
Isla Fisher has been mentioned for Lauren.
Also Emma Stone has
Emma
too.
Stone.
Oh, I could
Emma
see Emma Stone. I could see Emma Stone.
I like her.
But I'll be surprised if they can get that many high dollar actors in that budget. So
honestly,
it'll probably be a bunch of obscure people playing the rest of us.
Are you excited to see it?
I hope they at least confer with us and don't just go off and make it.
And at least get the facts right. And not,
right. So if it's bothersome when you see flagrant falsehoods and something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
it'll be interesting. No matter what, I guess we'll end up watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like partially because I feel like partially because it has such like a huge presence on Netflix, and not only just that, but like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, like everything. I think they would probably be able to pull it just for like the type of artists that like might have liked the docuseries and everything and want to like really play that character.
Yeah, I mean, very possible. It'd be interesting to see. I don't even know. I was trying to figure out what network that they were even talking about with the Nicolas Cage version, because it said it was going to go to market. So I think that means that they don't have a home for it. But it'd be interesting to see.
I think it'll get picked up when they put in the market for sure. You have so many celebrities that dress up as you guys on social media during the quarantine. You had Sylvester Stallone dress up as you, which is pretty cool.
That was awesome.
I'm done, right?
Yeah. You're like, I've lived my life.
I can die now. Yeah.
Yes.
It's funny, I sit here and I think I watched all the Rambos and all of the, the Rocky movies. I saw the first Rocky in a drive-in theater with my parents. And if you'd have told me ever that this guy that you're seeing on the screen in 19 whatever it was would end up dressing up like you someday, I never would have believed it.
Yeah,
For real, right?
I had to order a mullet wig and a tiger costume for my dog to make a TikTok just about the series.
And now here you are interviewing them.
Crazy.
We've been told that if Vegas gets back on its feet, that one of the major nightclubs out there, actually my cook who's out there cooking right now on a grill, he was running one of the biggest nightclubs in Vegas, and he got word that they're going to do a Joe Exotic themed Halloween party. And they ask us to come, and they'll take us in the back door and put us up on the stage. So, it's those kind of things are cool, and to be recognized is cool, but it's still unnerving. I mean, it's humbling, but it's kind of unnerving, because there's a lot of freaky things. People are looking in your windows in the middle of the night and trying to climb the fence of the zoo. So,
but I like to think that this has given us a chance. We have never been given a platform like this before, and we're able to finally speak up on what we believe is right, and for the animals and everything else. Nobody else has been given a platform like this.
Yeah, PETA can come out and criticize us for using CBD oil all they want when nobody listens to us.
Yeah. And now,
but, now when we can show them that it works, when we know, the people in the animal industry know the truth. And why they would want, to turn us into the USDA because we're using CBD. And that's what happened. They turned us in because they found out we were using CBD without my vet's authorization.
Wow. Which we're private citizens first before anything.
And that's, I reminded the USDA that I'm a private tiger owner in the state of Oklahoma that doesn't require USDA license to own cats. And that if I want to use CBD oil on my tigers, then I will. And they kind of backed off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's so interesting because with cannabis, now that they're putting more and more funding into the research of it, I mean, there's worse things that we give to our pets.
Right.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, guys, for taking the time. I know I spoke with your wife earlier, and you guys were so busy today. And I can only imagine you have 200 tigers and also other animals there.
And we're building a new zoo, so it's a lot
building a new zoo. We had 3 semi trucks full of caging material show up this morning from from north of Las Vegas, and it's been one of those hectic days. But we're glad we had time to speak with you guys.
Well, thank you guys, and we're going to be shipping you some products as well. Be Real, do you have any last questions you have for them?
Man, I just want to thank you for taking the time to talk with us, and good luck with all the new stuff moving forward. And now you have a platform, and you can, basically speak your mind and tell people what it really is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Thank you very much.
You guys.
Come see us, guys.
Yes, please.
Will do. And congratulations on the baby, Lauren.
Oh, thank you so much. She's taking her out finally.
Thank you, guys. And everyone that's watching and tuning in, this show is brought to you by MJ.com, Exotic Car Wraps, and also Jonathan sells beachhomes.com. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Yunitza Munoz.
And it's your girl, Angela Mazzanti.
And I'm Be Real.
Yes, thank you guys, and also much love to you guys. Their social media is right here at the bottom. They just got their new page, and I can't wait to see that movie when it comes out.
Remember, you knew me before the movie.
Yes.
I can't wait to take the road trip to go see them in person.
That would be cool. Yes.
We'll get some good pictures.
Yes. Thank you guys. You have a beautiful day.
Thank you guys.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thank you.